Hey guys, I can't sleep, so I dug out some books here to do a real quick video. And what's going on is that there has been a lot of people in their videos in the past month, more or less. Few people longer than that, but there's been this big surge of interest in Kamandi. People are getting the books and they seem to be enjoying them. Ellen Ron's, Dakin Howlett, Hippie Collectibles whipped out some of his collection. A couple months ago, Constant Bromstar did a video on his whole collection. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that everybody knows who Kamandi is. There's a comic book community on here for you new reviewers and stuff like that. Check out these channels, Constant Bromstar and Dakin Howlett and all them guys. You can go to my channel and I got them pinned up, so you can easily find them. But Kamandi is in the future. It's a post-apocalyptic world, and he's supposedly the last boy on Earth. It's created by Jack Kirby, came out in the 70s, ran about 59 issues. Jack Kirby was involved in the first 40. He wrote and drew them all except for the last 3 or 4 that he was on. Got it? Okay. So, with that said, this is Kamandi extras. Think of like DVD extras. This is tie-ins, homages, and stuff that are in my collection. There's 3 or 4 things out there, and I'll try to mention them off the top of my head here, okay? So we'll go on here. And by gosh, if I miss something, man, don't kill me. This is just what's in my collection, what I have from memory here, okay? This is for fun. Alright. First thing we got, Batman, Brave and the Bold, 120. Bob Haney, who was just a zany writer in the 70s for DC. He did the Super Sons and a few other things. And Jim Aparo art, he started out at Charlton and became a prominent Batman artist there in the 70s and 80s. Okay, so anyway, this is just a little story where Batman ends up going forward in time. We got monkeys on horses and we got Mount Rushmore. Okay, not a bad little issue. And not bad at all. All right, I can never seem to get a good copy of that. Now, one of the most important and I guess influential issues of Kamandi is number 29. Okay. And this was just genius, because basically what's going on is that Kirby never said officially, or it was never really established officially, whether or not Kamandi was the future of the DC universe. He said there was a great disaster and it was not nuclear war, but there was some radiation involved. Okay, it's like everything stopped. They had microfilm, and you kind of got the idea that this is like the 70s, or the late 60s or 70s, where everything just kind of stopped. Anyway. So he runs across this a bunch of apes, a bunch like Planet of the Apes, and what does he use for a plot device? A costume of Superman and some old newspaper clips, maybe, or were they comic book clips? Anyway, telling the tale of Superman, and they're waiting on the chosen one to show up to put the costume on again. So they're always having these challenges and these costumes based on the Superman mythos. And what is cool about it is that they still don't tell you if this is it or not. Now you got to remember, this is like the 70s this came out. So are we saying that is this the Superman costume, or could this be the George Reeves TV series costume, or is it a Halloween costume? You never gets told. So this influence. Now with that said, there was a little bit of a sequel that supposedly answered this. Elliot S. Megan and Kurt Swan, I believe, did this issue of Superman 295, and mine is beat up and broken because I just found out about this a couple of years ago. I finally got to get it, but he ends up messing with this villain who's, Father Time or whatever his name is. I don't know what his name is. It's more, I don't think he ever showed up again after this. He was just a plot device to get the story going. But basically, we get a page here where Superman travels through time, and if that shows up, sorry about the lighting, it's late. You see the talking animals and the civilization, and he goes past Kamandi's time. And he actually, you see the people rise up and everything like that, and, there's the man wearing the costume, and then it tells the tale, that goes with that. I think it kind of takes some of the mystique away once you get an answer from that Kamandi issue, but you can pretend it never happened. Alright, I'm just throwing this out because in the next book I'm showing you, this is real close in numbers. Lin Wynn wrote, George Perez drew, Superman and OMAC, DC Comics Presents number 61. This came out a full year before Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Terminator movie, and it's real close to the same plot. Great George Perez art. Pick this up. It should be cheap. And then in issue 64, we had Superman in Kamandi, DC Comics Presents. Mark Evanier wrote this, who was like Jack Kirby's assistant, so, you know, I guess it's just natural for him to take over some Kirby characters there. Kirby was still alive when this came out. And it's not bad. It's fun. It's fun. There's a little... It's not your basic time travel story. It's not so much anybody's going forward in the future or into the past. It's kind of happened at the same time. We'll just leave it at that. Alright, what else have I got here so I don't skip around too much? Okay, Cameos. Okay, I love this cameo. I mean, I was just... It's Kamandi. You know, I hadn't seen him for years. I've been flipping through the old comics. I don't even think I didn't own my own Kamandi comics. I still went to my uncle's house and flipped through his and stuff. And this is from 1985, Crisis on Infinite Earths #2. And I think he might have another cameo. Crisis on Infinite Earths was 12 issues, and he might have popped up somewhere else. But, you know, this is where Superman came in, and he meets the Earth 2 Superman, because he's already met the Earth 1 Superman. He's like, so glad to see you, you're older, and all this stuff. Really good stuff. He's climbing one of the towers that the Monitor had set up, and, you know, Kamandi always took a beating, man, and he's just freaking horrified in this. Okay? So we'll skip ahead years later, man. We go to Final Crisis #1. And Grant Morrison had this whole theme of Alpha and Omega. So he took what was there, and he had Anthro, the first boy, the caveman, meet Kamandi, the last boy on Earth. So you get a little cameo here of Anthro sitting there. You know, he's doing his little thing drawing, and all of a sudden, there he is. There's the great Statue of Liberty. And there's Kamandi running up yelling at him. Which, you know, awesome. I'm a DC guy, so that I was geeking out on a whole DC level there on that one. Alright, some homages that went on real quick. These are just books that are fun, okay? But for Superboy, back in, when is this, 98? Yeah, Superboy. All of a sudden, you know, we had this great story by Carl Kessel and Tom Grummett where it's survival of the fittest. And the test pops up, and it references this issue. So if you know this issue or anything about Kamandi, then you're just going to have some fun with this. All of a sudden, you know, Connor Kent, or if that's his name by now, all of a sudden just kind of wakes up, and he's surrounded by talking animals, and he's been there for a while. His hair's grown out, and he's ended up kind of dressed like Kamandi, as you can tell. It's issue 50, 51, Age of the World, 52, and 53. I believe that's all of them. Is this the end of the last boy on Earth? You know, there's a little mystery there, and this kind of carried over into the rest of the series, sort of. You know, some characters that pop up. You know, they're all on that boat. We'll just leave it at that. So this was fun. Kamandi nuts. You could tell they loved Kamandi. Alright, not so much an homage, but, you know, Superman Batman #16, Jeff Loeb and Carlos Pacheco and Jesus Moreno. He wrote kind of a little alternate timeline story where somebody changed time, and Superman and Batman ended up going through these alternate timelines, and in issue 16 Kamandi popped up. Excellent stuff. I'm not so much a fan of the Superman Batman that Jeff Loeb wrote the first 25 issues, but this little arc here that he did is just excellent. I really liked it. And the ultimate homage, Eric Larson is a huge fan. I should have looked up exactly what issues these were of Savage Dragon, but this is volume 15 if you can find the trade. You might as well get 16 because I was so excited to find this, and I got it so cheap that I grabbed it and I bought it, and I left some other Savage Dragon stuff in there, and lo and behold, this is just the first half of his homage. He took memory here. Basically what happened was that a villain has changed time, and all of a sudden he's wrote this arc, but he changed the entire whole book to where it was the Savage World, and I think he carried it on for a while there, where this whole book is an homage to Kamandi. He started doing the chapters like Kamandi, like Kirby did. He started throwing in some Kirby, a little bit more Kirby crackle in there, and it's just a fun book. You know, the Savage World. You got your splash page like Kirby, and then every issue he had the 2-page spread like the Kamandi's issues had. Let you know that. If you look real close, he's woke up. He's wearing the Kamandi shorts and no boots on him yet. You know, just his jeans. And lo and behold, he starts seeing this boy, and he chases him. And look at that, just enough to where he don't get sued. It's Kamandi, maybe, you know. So just a fun issue, man. Just all kinds of little hints here and there. If you read the Kamandi issue, Eric Larson was a fan. He did an excellent job, man. I mean, he even went for the Kirby looks here, Kirby crackle. I mean, what a cool thing to do, to take your whole book that's basically a superhero who's a cop fighting organized crime and stuff like that, and, you know, aliens and stuff. Just a fun book, and you just change the whole freaking thing to where he's in the savage world of Kamandi, and we know that's what he's doing. I really enjoyed this, and I got a couple of the actual issues. I mean, you know, he was going for it. You know, and this is just a book that's just his love of Kamandi. That's all there is to it, man. Attack of the 50-Foot Woman and stuff. And find another good little splash page since we're all here together. You know, and there's some other characters that pop up. I mean, look at this. Alright. Larson's just awesome on this. So yeah, that's worth getting, this Savage Land. Let me see, seems like it was issue, I'm not going to say a word until I see it. He does an introduction to this, talking about his love of Kirby and why he did it. He dedicated the whole thing to Kirby. He kind of talked about how he hid the solicits so everybody would be surprised. I don't think it really says. Yeah, it doesn't say what issues that I can find here easily, since we're doing a video that he's done all these in. But yeah, it was awesome. And oh yeah, one more thing here. In 2003, John Byrne did a series. It was Generations 3. This was the third set of a mini-series. He did Generations and then Generation 2. Those were like prestige formats, 4 issues apiece. Then he got 12 issues in standard comic book form, and it's a time travel story. And issue 3 of 12, I think these counted backwards. Maybe not. Seems like they did. I don't know. Anyway, there's a Kamandi story in here. This takes place in the time of Kamandi, and that's supposed to be, that's Cam on the cover, and there's a little twist there towards the end. Now, of course, there's a book I can't find. It's Justice League Adventures, based on the Paul Dini, Bruce Timm Justice League cartoon, I think. And it's a Kamandi story. It's number 30 of the series, and the Flash meets Kamandi. Which, okay, I've got that, but I can't find it. Of course, we got Wednesday Comics. I don't have any of those. I've been trying to find the trade for those pretty cheap. And that was by Dave Givens and Ryan Sook, I think. They kind of did a Prince Valiant format to the Kamandi story, and I heard it was excellent. And then I want to point out Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, Kamandi's popped up in a few Brave and the Bolds, okay, like of the cartoon. And even if it's just for a segment, usually they'll have like a little teaser of an ending of a story with a hero, they've done it in every episode. Then you have the credits and they go into the real story. Okay, so Kamandi's popped up in a couple of those. This one though has the Kamandi story. It's Last Bat on Earth. This is season 1, part 2, and it's excellent. I like it. And let me think. Am I forgetting anything else? I think that's it. So yeah, oh yeah, they had a Kamandi miniseries in the 90s. It was an Elseworld tale, Kamandi Last Boy on Earth by Tom Vetch. I didn't enjoy it, so I don't count it. It's not really Kamandi. I mean, it ties into, it's just not Kamandi. I didn't like it, but you know, if you're a completist, you can get it. Anyway, that's it, man. That's your Kamandi extras. Anybody else got any more? You know, put them in the comments section so that I know. And I'll give a big thumbs up if you like this, and subscribe. I lost a few subscribers because my, Spider-Man movie review, which I'm not apologizing for. That really seemed to stir some shit. Alright guys, there you go, man. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. We're all just hang out, put some stuff in the comments if you know some more Kamandi appearances, and that's it. Alright, later.